Okay, it's time for another pre-corona in-class scenario. The following was always our classroom attempt to act out a ritual setting that John and BT witnessed and recorded. You are again a tribe, and we are at an ATR ritual setting. So it's likely that there is dancing and drumming. So pretend that I am a shaman or medicine man. I am as old as the hills and might know a few things. Many years ago, I made up a metaphor for shamans. I say they are like Johns Hopkins in the woods. Some of you may know that Johns Hopkins, the hospital and university, have a reputation for excellence in medical science. I could have said Mayo Clinic in the forest. In any case, a shaman or medicine man has received a great deal of training in a tribal context. So it is my responsibility to heal the ailments of the tribe. But as much as I love you guys and gals of our tribe, I don't have enough time to address all of your needs. Do you remember when you used to pick on little Carl? You thought he was so weird. But I noticed that he was a highly sensitive kid that had the makings of a medium. So I took him under my wing and gave him years of difficult training. So, at a ritual setting in Uganda, there was dancing and drumming. I have given you some rattles, and imagine that you will use your desks as drums. And BT said that the tribe was singing a rhythmical song. So pretend you are all singing a song that's very rhythmical and that you all know. Bottles of beer on the wall, another one bites the dust, twinkle, twinkle, little star, row, row, row your boat. You choose. So you're singing, the rattles are going, and you are drumming on your desks. Now Carl has been sitting on a stool, and he begins to shake convulsively. His eyes are rolling in their sockets, and he began to babble that he wanted another song. So you tribe members began singing another rhythmical song. Carl began shaking again, beating his fist violently against his chest. He then bends down on all fours and hits his head against the ground a few times. Through all of this, Carl had a creeping plant ring on one of his fingers. Now, doesn't Carl's behavior make you feel better, besides the fact that you weren't chosen? He's no longer the weird kid. Carl was experiencing a type of enthusiasm. That word comes from the Latin enthoi, meaning possessed by the gods. The type of religious experience I'm trying to describe is sometimes called enthusiastic or ecstatic religions. The word ecstasy comes from the Greek ekstasis, out of state. So our own Carl may have been experiencing a type of possession or enthusiasm. Maybe the creeping plant ring was a type of antenna to help Carl receive spiritual transmission with the help of your drumming. Here's another scenario, according to MBT. First of all, everyone knows that women make the best mediums. And do you remember Linda? She was such a cute kid, but her behavior was so schizoid. We could only be around her at certain times. But again, I saw something special in this fiery young girl. I took her under my tutelage. At the height of her training, I made her chop wood along with other difficult chores. She had to sleep on the cold ground. Even after Linda got married, at the height of her training, she wasn't able to do that horizontal activity that married people engage in. You know, that dastardly deed your parents told you about recently. Anyway, at a ritual setting with dancing, singing, and drumming, Linda also started shaking convulsively. She was taken away from the ritual setting by a few women attendants. Behind the scenes, Her clothes were taken off and her body was painted with white bark chalk. She was given a grass skirt, bracelets, anklets, and a necklace. In our scenario, I would have given her, or I would have our attendants give her a Marvin the Martian mask that would be placed on her. So Linda has been remade. She has gone through what in our discipline is called a rite of passage, being separated from society, going through a liminal or betwixt and between stage, and then reintroduced to society. Anyway, when Linda came back to the ritual setting, she began to shake again. She then began to walk like me, I mean like an old person. She then started to act like a warrior. Then Linda began to walk like as if she were pregnant. Finally, she bent down on all fours and began to bark like a dog. She then fell back into a seat and didn't remember anything about her experience. Carl didn't remember anything either. But man, does Linda's experience make our tribe feel good? Doesn't it make us feel good? You could tell that Linda's enthusiastic experience was different from Carl's. I'm going to keep Carl on my shamanistic staff, but definitely Linda is going to be a key medium. I imagine, if we use Mbiti's metaphor, we could say that Carl is like an FM radio, but Linda's experience was more like satellite radio. All of those stations and personalities visiting her. But using my medical metaphor in our classroom tribe, I'm going to keep Carl and Linda on my staff. Their services can help ensure our tribe's health and well-being.